Hi, and welcome back into Meet Me at the Movies. Here in a minute, we're going to pitch it over to Studio Z, where Noel is with Douglas Davidson talking about the film Chavalier. Noel and Douglas, take it away.
Look at there, Douglas Davidson, Elements of Madness. Always good to have you back, man. We appreciate you spending time with us when you're able to be on the show. And I really wanted to talk about this movie. I have not seen it yet. It's on my to-do list. When I first saw it, the title of it, I'm like, hey, I used to have a Chevy Chavalier. I had one of those. It was like the B-26 or something. And then somebody told me, no, it's not about cars. I'm like, oh, okay, no. It's not a Fast and Furious 12 or anything like that, or it's not like an animated film. It's something completely different. But when I saw the trailer, honestly, truly, when I saw the trailer, I said, wow, I'm really fascinated by this. This is a piece of music history I knew nothing about, and I'm excited to hear your thoughts on, is it Chevalier?
I believe, if I'm getting the French pronunciation right, it's Chavalier or Chavalier, but it's the subtitle of it is The Untold True Story. And so
there you go.
So for those of you that don't know, there was a multi-hyphenate. He was a composer, a violinist, a fencer, all number of different things in France pre-French Revolution. He was Joseph Bologne. The son of a slave and a plantation owner in Guadeloupe, and his father took him to France and went, we want you to get schooled and what have you. And through the schooling and through his training, he ended up becoming friends with Queen Marie Antoinette. Let them eat cake herself. And this film mostly focuses on towards the end of his career as a major composer leading up to the French Revolution itself, in sort of the relationship he has with Marie Antoinette and the performance that he creates and puts on in order to try to reach the highest position that someone in music at that time could reach. And so this film, interestingly enough, it's wonderfully performed. Kelvin Harrison Jr. is the role of Joseph. You've got Samara Weaving, who plays Marie Josephine, who is a married woman, who is a beautiful singer that Joseph wants to be in his production, but between his racism, it's just straight up racism. There's no other way to put it. Because he is half black, the husband doesn't want the wife to perform. And then there is Lucy Boynton, who plays Queen Marie. And for those of you that are less familiar with Lucy, Sing Street and Bohemian Rhapsody were two of the biggest things that bigger things that she's done that at least a lot of folks will grapple onto. There are great performances from these three actors. Kelvin in particular is magnetic. And the way that they begin this film, this is Stephen Williams, who directed it, and Stephanie Robinson, who wrote it. Both of them come from TV. Either she's What We Do in the Shadows and he's Watchmen, if I remember correctly. And they begin this film, in the trailer, there's a moment where Joseph challenges Mozart while Mozart's giving a concert, and it's presented like a rock show for us in our present day, which so many people don't realize that what we think of as high entertainment, classical music, those were the rock shows of the era.
Right.
And so Mozart shows up and Joseph shows up and steals the show from Mozart.
Yes.
And it sets the tone for the rest of the film. The music is incredible. The story is very, very interesting. The romance angle that takes place there, as well as the exploration of class, of gender, politics, race, all of it. And it never feels overhanded in any way. It doesn't feel like it's preaching or anything else. Instead, it feels both of this period, but also very much anchored back then.
Wow. And much of the music from this composer was lost, and so
on purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
By Napoleon, apparently.
Yes. And so the recreation of this and trying to bring it back was a story in itself. But I mean, thanks for sharing these thoughts. I knew I wanted to see it, but as you've talked more and more about it, that's upped my game even more to to bring it back on my priority list up even higher. So what rating would you like to give the film Chavalier?
A solid B. A solid B. The music
Okay.
is great. The performances are great. Production design, editing is in particular on point in conveying not only momentum, but helping with that tone setting. It is fantastic.
And so this is not just an art film for those that may be leery of seeing it because they think it's just about art. It's much more than that.
Absolutely. I think there is a mistake that has been made with cinema where period films or films where we look backward are often glorified in some way or made these were better, cleaner, more sophisticated. Whereas when we look back, these people were people. And so they spoke a certain way and they relaxed a certain way. And the stuff that we do today, we may have different technology to get us there, but they're not really so different from where we are now. And I think that
Awesome.
a film like this makes that very clear.
Awesome. Douglas Davidson, Elements of Madness. You can find him online, and just a great website with tons of
Thank you.
rich material from a lot of different film journalists out there. So I encourage you to check it out, elementsofmadness.com. Douglas Davidson, thank you, sir. We'll see you next time, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much.